Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. It's been a while, but we are back with a new video. In this video, we will be working on Netflix data. This data is available on Kaggle, and we have data of movies and TV shows that are on Netflix. Netflix, as you already know, that it's a popular media and video streaming platform. They have over thousands of movies and TV shows, and this data is still mid of 2021. So we have data till the mid of 2021, and we will be working on this data, try to find some patterns and get some insights about this data. They have also listed some interesting ideas here. One is understanding what content is available in different countries, identifying similar content by matching text based features, Netflix analysis of actors, directors, and finding interesting insights. Does Netflix has more focus on TV shows than movies in recent years? We will try to answer few ideas from these mentioned points, especially first one and fourth one. So, without wasting any time, let's get to work and let's start coding. So, we will be using Jupyter Notebook for this task. We will first import the libraries and then we will import the data and then explore the data. So, first of all, import Pandas and then visualization library, Seaborn and Matplotlib. We will also use Plotly, but we will import that later in this notebook. But for now, these three libraries are fine and good to go to the next step, which is importing the data. For importing, we have Netflix title.csv file, which you can download from Kaggle. We are using pd.read csv to read or to import data from that. We are saving the data inside df, which is our data frame, and let's run it. So as you can see, we were able to read that file and plot the header of that data, the first 5 rows. So through this, we can easily see that this data got multiple columns like the type, movie or TV shows, the title of that movie, the director, the cast if they have any, the country which published or which launched that movie, the date added, the release year, the rating, the duration, and listed in and the description of that movie, what is this movie or TV show was about. df.shape will give us the total number of rows and columns. So we have got 8,000 rows or almost 9,000 rows and 12 columns. And then we will check some null values if we have any. Yes, we do have many null values like in director column, in cast, country, date added, release year. So we have got multiple columns. The one idea is to drop all the null values or all the rows which contain any null values, but this is not a good practice in all cases. So we will try to fill up those null values which we can. So in the first place, we will be working on country. We will replace all the nan values in the country column with United States, as Netflix was created in USA and every show is aired on Netflix from US. So instead of dropping the whole column, we just replace the value in it with USA or United States to save that raw and all the information about that movie or TV show. You can also replace this with no country defined, but the idea is to not drop those 831 rows in which we have got no country mentioned. But for this case, I am replacing null values with United States. So before doing this, we have to import NumPy as well, because that will help in identifying np.nan values. So we will do this and then we'll run this thing. So let's check again this thing, the sum of null values. So as you can see, there is no null value in country column. So now let's focus on the next few columns: the director column, the cast, and then country if you want. Country we already replace, but you can also replace United States with not specify. Either, in each case you have a choice. But for the rest of the columns like director and cast, the director column contains more null values as compared with other columns. So we will not drop those null values because we will lose 2000 or 2.5k ROS if we drop those null values where director is null. So we will replace the nan with no director and cast as no cast mentioned, and we will just do the in place true, which will do the all the replace thing inside this data frame, and we don't have to copy it or use is equals to save that data inside a new data frame. The in place true will do all this magic. So let's do this thing, and now we have got only date edit and rating and duration. So we have got only 17 rows which contain nan values. So we can easily now drop those thing or drop those rows. So now after dropping those values using drop na, we have got no null values, and the shape of our data frame is now 8790 since we have dropped 17 rows, the combination of date edit, rating, and duration. Moving on, you can also explore each column with their value count, like rating. Inside that rating, we can easily find that they have got multiple type of rating like PG or above 18 movies, kids movies, documentaries, and they have got a different value count of each of those rating. In this data frame, in this notebook, I have also found the or listed the value count for listed in is basically depicts that what type of content was there. Is it a dramatic or movies or documentary or comedy movie or a combination of comedy drama movies? So we have got different count of it. We can also split this listed in data, and we can find individual count of international movies, dramas, documentaries. We will do this later in this notebook. So the next thing which we have got is data analysis. In this data analysis, we will first find out what is the count of movies and TV shows in this data set. So we will use type from our data frame and find the value count. So as you can see, we have got 6,000 movies and TV and 2.5k or around 2,600 TV shows in this data. We now plot using our SNS library, and this is the bar plot we got from it: 6,000 movies and 2,000 TV shows. Now is the time to import a new library called Plotly because it's a way better libraries for visualization when we are working with data or data analysis in Python. So inside this, I have first import the necessary functions from Plotly, and they are graph objects as go and express as px. Then we do the same since we are focusing on the type column inside this data frame. We then go to plot this figure, and we are now plotting the pie chart and using Plotly. The above steps are very um, like self-sufficient, I guess. So nothing to just it's just a copy paste thing. The figure dot show will in the end show that graph. The main thing is what type of graph you are plotting and what type of content you want to show. We first got the value count and save it inside a variable called movie type counts, and then we are passing the labels uh, we are passing indexes in the labels parameter and values inside the values parameters. So as we can see, 69 point or 70% are movie from this data frame, and the rest of the 30% belongs to TV shows. We are then focusing on the rating column. So this is the rating chart. The most rating value was TVMA, which have a count of more than 3,000, and the lesser was NC-17. These are some of the rating they have defined, like the Netflix. And this is the same chart for rating, but this time a distribution between movies and TV shows. And we are plotting this chart using Matplot and SNS libraries. We do the same thing, and now we are focusing on to the countries level. And now this part of the code will actually plot a chart or tree map, and that will show you the top 10 countries which have launched most movies on Netflix platform. So if as we run it, we got to know that United States was the winner, which have hosted or uploaded around 3.6K movies. The second was India, and then we have got UK and then Japan. So these are the top 10 countries which have launched more movies and TV shows on Netflix. So this is again the head of the data frame, and now we are jumping towards finding the some of the pattern, like what was the oldest movies available on Netflix. For that, we will be needing release year for this thing. And now from that, df dot sort values will help us in identifying or sorting the release column. And when we do the ascending, we will get the first, like the older movies, all the older years. So as I run this thing, I will get the title of the movie and the release year of that movie. So the older one was launched, the older movie on Netflix was launched in 1925, and these are the top 15 movies, or the top older 15 movies on Netflix. We can also pass new columns if you want to, like the country, and we can see that the title, the release year, and the country of that movie. Moving on, if we want to focus on a specific type like stand up comedy or finding the kids' movies, so what we can do is we first define our tag, like what we want, like stand up comedy, that should be present in the listed in. So as you already see that listed in, we have got a comma separated value, so we have to split that thing to find the individual count of that category. So this code will help in this thing. So this code will is basically saying or plotting the stand-up comedy movies launched in United States with their year, and this is showing the top 10 rows of stand up comedy. Same goes for kids. You just need to replace or update that tag, and it will give you the kids' movies. You can also change the variable in the country value, like India or UK, because these were the top three. And as we plot, we got the top 10 rows of kids' movies that are launched in India. Now, moving on, we are now creating a new data frame of countries, the same which we did earlier in the tree map, we have now saved it inside a DF countries that have all the countries which with their launch TVs and movies count. So this was the 20th one, and if we want to check what was the least performing country, we have got different states like the combination of Colombia, Peru, UK. You can also split this thing and find the specific country with their count. So you can do that as well. But you get some idea of what's going on. Now, what we are trying to do is that for each year we are going to find the count. Like in 2018, what were the count launch of movies and TV shows on Netflix on 2017, 2019, 20? What was the count of total movies and TV shows launched on or published on Netflix? So this is the data frame, and this will help us in plotting that chart. So this is the trend of movies, and this is the trend of TV shows. So 2020 was a year in which most TV shows were launched, almost or more than 400. And 2018 was the year in which we have got a most number of movies launched on Netflix. More than 750 movies were launched on 2018 and almost similar in 2017. So you see the difference between trends and years between movies and TV shows. And that goes with this idea in which that one of the tasks was that the Netflix has more focus on TV shows than movie in recent years. Yes, Netflix was more focused on TV shows if we are comparing the 5 years, because in 2020 we have got more TV shows launched, and in 2021 we have got 300, and TV shows count was uh, 250 or less than 300. So this is the result we can depict, is that Netflix is now more focusing on TV shows content rather than movies, because as we see in their release count. So the next thing is that we are going forward to find the genre and the trend. So as you can see, the top 10 genres of movies were comedies and international. Listed in was a column that will help us in finding this thing. Dramas, international, and romantic movies was the next thing. And the top was dramas and international movies. For TV shows, kids' TVs have the most content, like more than 200. And now the same thing we will do, but this time we will split the by comma and then finding the individual category and finding the top 10 genres of TV shows and movies. So the next thing is to first copy the data frame and save it and do the next part on a new data frame called Netflix. We first run that thing and then we do the exact same thing, and the idea is to split the listed in column into by comma space and then use that thing as genres and find the individual count of each genre and plot that out. So this is the trend from 2008 till 2021, and international movies was the winner. Then we have got dramas, then comedy shows, then TV shows, then documentaries, then kids, all the way to reality TV. So this was the top 20 genres. on Netflix from the period 2008 till 2021. Moving on, now we are focusing on the top categories trend between directors, actors. So let's first again print the header, then find the director value count. We have got no director, big count of no director. So we will exclude those things and focusing on the rest of the stuff. So this data or this code will tell us the rating and their count. And the next thing will actually tell us the director of how much that director was present in different movies. So we have got the winner. These are the top five directors, and the winner is from I guess India, which have a count of 2022. Rajiv Shilaka, Raul Campos, who launched or who appear in 18 movies as a director. Then now we will do the same thing but with the cast and find the actors. And inside that, these are the top five actors with their count. Anupam Kher, Rupa, Bhimani, and Sum, and goes all the way to the Om Puri. Mostly were belongs to the Indian movies and Indian TV shows. The highest count was 39 for Anupam Kher. The next thing we are trying to do is finding the release year and the type of that movie and the total content. Like we have got different years, the type, and the total content of that movies. We can also split that into TV shows and movies based on the type, and at the end we are finding the top seasons or web series launched and finding those seasons or web series which have more number of seasons, like more number of content, let's say. So Grey's Anatomy, Supernatural, NCIS, Comedians of the World, Heartland were the top 5 TV shows which have most seasons launched on Netflix: 17, 15, 15, 13, 13. So I hope these are the some of the patterns or analysis you get some idea through this, and you will be exploring more and deep dive more inside this data. If you have got any queries or questions, let me know. This data set link I'll be mentioning in the description part, also the notebook link. And if you found any or if you face any difficulty, let me know. In the future video we will also try to find this thing, also like identify the similar content by matching text-based features. This thing we will have to go on NLP side, like natural language processing, and find apply some technique like TF-IDF or count vectorizer to answer this question. But for now, that's all for today. I have also written a blog for this. You can also check it out. And till the next video, take care. Have a good day.